Geo here. Hey guys, Geo here. Welcome to Giocast episode 15. It's been probably almost 2 months since the last time I've been on here. I've been meaning to put one out. I've just been super busy and going a bit crazy. A lot of change has been happening in the last couple months. Went back to Canada to record some music and see some family, actually twice in the last couple months. I'm back in Costa Rica now. I'm actually just getting ready for my first night here at Rythmia. I'm here this week. Full house, probably 90 people. I got my friend Roxy Moon came down with me. And I thought, now's a good time to record a short episode because tomorrow's probably going to be a whole nother episode about my journey that I probably want to share with you guys. So yeah, just catching up. Back in November, a few things happened. It was interesting because I think one day I read a book about entrepreneurship and spirituality and how being an entrepreneur challenges you in so many ways, spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally. Just gonna shut the AC off here. And when you look at it in a certain light, you can see how it's a journey. The triggers that come up that show you about your beliefs, your core wounds. I think what happened in 2021 is I kind of like left Toronto for Costa Rica and kind of left things behind, and just coming back just felt like things were a bit off and needed to be realigned. So a bunch of changes took place there, and parted ways with a good friend of mine. We're still friends, of course, but really had to get clear like what I really wanted with Elemental. We had a flood a couple years back and caused a lot of damage, and it's interesting because when I was first opening, I don't know if I've shared this before, like all the fear that came up around, failure and losing the space and losing all my money. And I signed my name on the line and put my house up as collateral, and it didn't start off the way I wanted. It was behind schedule and all this money delays, and we didn't start making money off the bat. And once I changed that and just really focused on my intention about wanting to help people and create a space for healing and connection, that shifted. And so many amazing things came out of that. People I met and new business partners that I gained and friends and experiences, and so many ways that I profited outside of that business because of that business and that entity that was created there. And it was interesting, before we opened, when I was super stressed, I was like, yeah, just speak to a psychic I know, their card reader. And so they read my cards. And one of the cards was the water tower, which apparently is not a good card. And they were like telling me all these things that were kind of happening. And I was kind of freaked out that they were kind of accurate. They're like, can you back out of it? I'm like, no, that's not possible. I'm like, ooh, I don't know. I see a lot of water and water damage. We ended up having this flood and kind of set us back after coming out of COVID and struggling through that. And, going through insurance claims and still waiting for some of that to come through. It's like, what am I doing here? Am I moving on from this? Am I trying to sell it? And I got some clarity when I went back. I was like, okay, I'm going to give this thing one more shot. And such a beautiful energy that's being created there now, and trying to revitalize and really make that community that it's meant to be. That merges in with all the breathwork stuff we're doing. And we just recently did a level 2 training, which really goes deep. And part of the training is getting the facilitators to go through it themselves. So we're all going through it right now, just exploring what's inside, where these core beliefs, these core wounds come from that really dictate our life. And what happens is when you have these core beliefs and wounds that are painful, you're always creating mechanisms to kind of support that, to protect you from feeling that way, whether it was something that happened as a kid or trauma. And subconsciously, or maybe even consciously, we're living in a fear mode a lot. And when you're in fear and your stress levels are up, and your mind is always active or worrying, what space do you have to create? What space do you have to bring something new and really dive into that creative process? And so I'm trying to work on both ways at the same time, and helping people also to create space from their fears and beliefs to come into a mode of creation, to attract, to manifest. And it's been amazing. And just looking back the last couple of years, like anything is possible, really, if you open yourself to believe it is, to want to make change. So part of the elemental rhythm is creating music, and we rented this cottage up north in the middle of nowhere, big log home, and you can see some of the images on my Instagram. And we just created this incredible experience and recorded like 15 hours of live music with intention to create breathwork tracks. We're working on that now. And I'm also working on a track with one of my favorite artists. I can't tell you who yet because they still need the final approval. And I want to make sure before I announce anything that they give me the okay. And just diving into those spaces, like time stops. And I really know like I should be doing more of this. I should be making more music, singing more music, because it just makes me feel so good. I'm connecting with people, connecting with the music, which is healing in itself, being creative, and more to come, more exciting stuff to come. Just ask the question: is like, when do you feel like you're in creation mode when time stops and you're doing something that you just lose yourself completely in? And how do you do more of that? How do you create space for that? And how do you slow down the mind to not spend so much energy worrying about the things that may never even happen? Yeah, and what's important is, just making that clear decision first. Is just really committing to something because the wheels will start to roll in motion. And when we make a decision to change, we want to go to a new point in life, or, I don't like to say the destination because we're always moving and growing, but to just make that next leg of the journey, you make the decision, things will start moving. And sometimes it feels like they're moving backwards. Sometimes it feels like things are falling apart, but it always is working for you. It's always, the universe is conspiring to get you to where you need to be. And it may be hard and challenging because it's trying to push you through these things that are holding you back. And I see it around me with my friends when I talk about them. They're going through hard things. And it's just a time of change and disruption and upheaval. And creating that new space for new things to come in and to challenge the old belief system so they can die and fade away. That symbolic death when you feel like everything's falling apart because the parts of you are dying. And as humans, we'd like to stay in uncomfortable certainty more than we go into the realm of the unknown. My good friend JJ always says, there's a few things. There's the things we know that we know. Like, I know that I'm a breathwork facilitator and I like music, and there's things that we know that we don't know. Like, I don't know computer programming or how to speak Chinese. But what about the things we don't know? That, like, that next person that's going to come into your life and change everything, or that email about something that you weren't even thinking about that comes in and creates a new opportunity for you, or who knows? Like, it could be anything. And it's just being open to that possibility with awareness for seeing these new opportunities, to surrender into things, to decide to move in different ways, and then be open to what unfolds. And, even if things are not great right now, it's so amazing. I had a San Pedro ceremony that just kind of unfolded. I'll say more about that, but the Huachumero, I think they call them, or the medicine keeper, came from all the way from Peru because they're having an upheaval, a revolution of some sort, so they had to leave. It's unfortunate, but it brought so much greatness into our lives because now they're around us here where we live. And it's also interesting is that some of the best, I don't know if best is the right word, some of the lineage of Taitas are coming in and doing ceremonies like right near my house, where I can walk there, right from the jungle in the Amazon. It's such an amazing opportunity to be in this space right now. And what Chan said, the Huachumero, is that his teacher told him that the end is always great. And so if things are not great right now, it's not the end. You need to move through, and don't get caught in the middle when things are not great and get in the victim mode. It's just be patient, persevere. And I could see how that can be true. And even the end, if it is death, something great, the great mystery that lies beyond. And so they were in town. My friend JJ's like, hey, what do you think about doing a ceremony in Osara? And I was like, I don't know. I'm so busy working with, personal development school and the breath work, and don't have much time and family stuff. I'm like, okay, let's try. And without much effort, it was meant to be, and it just came together. We've got a beautiful finca, friend's place in the middle of the jungle. And the way it is here, a lot of people don't sign up in advance. So like the first few days, I thought it was just be me and a few others. And, by the time it was said and done, like 18 people showed up, and we had the most beautiful day ever. San Pedro, or Huachuma, is just a beautiful medicine. It comes from a cactus, and they brew it and put their prayers and intention, and you drink it, and it takes you on this journey. And usually done during the day, so you're out in nature and just really feel this sense of connection and truth, seeing beyond the bullshit that is in your mind a lot of times. There was a point where I just felt like wandering off and just going alone, and it's kind of that same place where I had that realization about, I shared in an early episode about wanting to be connected all the time with people and not feeling alone and feeling, important, and sharing these experiences, because I uncovered some, core beliefs about, I'm alone or scared of being alone. So I wandered off by myself and I was like, where am I going? What am I really doing? What's the point of this? And then got me to reflect on, like, where am I going in life? Why am I doing anything, or why am I doing what I do? In that moment, time just stopped. I was just so present in that moment. And I thought, like, am I going out here because I want attention? Do I want someone to come look for me? Do I want someone to notice that I've wandered off? Or do I really want to be alone to just really get some space? Because I'm so busy all the time. I just need this quietness and this ability to kind of settle down. And the line for me was gray. It was so super thin, and I feel like I'm on the edge of wanting attention and doing things to feel seen and heard and connected and of value, and also wanting to just have space by myself. And what it showed me is both of them is a form of connection. Connecting with nature, connecting yourself is a connection, and connecting with people is also high. So it doesn't have to be one or the other. But just be intentional the way you do it. Set time for both. And it doesn't have to be one or the other. It doesn't have to be black and white. You can live in the gray and experience a lot of it, but just get clear with yourself is what you truly need and want. And so I went back and we danced the rest of the afternoon away into the night, and it was just the most beautiful, beautiful experience. So if you haven't experienced or sat with your grandfather, Wachuma, I highly recommend. I highly recommend it. And so that just happened very effortlessly, and maybe there'll be another one. We'll see. They want to do another one. I don't know. Well, I got to feel into that. And then my friend Roxy, who's helping me create music for Elemental Rhythm, he's an amazing DJ. We've been friends for a while. Actually went to Burning Man with him. I'm not sure if I did a Burning Man episode here, but maybe I'll share the story a little bit later. And, a day ago he was coming, and then I got a message before I left the ceremony. He's like, I missed my flight, and I don't think I'm coming. And I just sent him a message back. It's like, hey, if you're meant to be here, you'll be here. Book another flight, come tomorrow. And he showed up, and everything's just rolling really smoothly today. And we did breathwork last night, and ice bath today with like 90 people. It's a big ceremony this week. And, I just feel super fulfilled as I'm able to share some of the things I've learned over the years with people and see the impact it has on them, which impacts me. To feel needed is good. And also to not feel needed feels good as well. And that's what came up with my friend Blake in the ceremony. It's like, sometimes we make up all these excuses to feel needed so that, it keeps us busy, or we feel a certain feeling. Is that what we truly want? To feel needed all the time, and all the things we do to try to feel needed, and it can drive us crazy. And so I've been sitting with that. I'm going to bring that into ceremony tonight, which is starting in about 15 minutes. So next Giocast you hear, we'll probably be sharing about some ayahuasca experiences here at Rythmia, one of my favorite places. And so grateful they opened their doors to me and allow me to come and spend time here with my friends and family. So this is the end. I don't know if this is a great podcast, but it's the end of this podcast, this Giocast. And just want to reconnect with all of you, for those who listen. And I want to hear what you guys up to. Is there anything you want me to speak about, to share, to talk more deeply about? Super blessed to just have this community and to be connected with all of you. And love to connect further. So shoot me an email, geo@elementalrhythm.com, or connect on Instagram @elementalgeo. Have an amazing night, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.